All right, let's dive right into another deep dive. Today, we're looking at Mark Labbett's weight loss.
Oh, yeah. Fascinating.
You know, the beast from the
Oh,
Chase.
okay. Yep.
You send over a bunch of articles, so I know you're interested.
Absolutely.
And, well, I'm just as curious as you are.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing. He managed to lose 10 stone, that's like, what, 140 pounds?
Wow.
Without, any surgery or crazy fad diets.
Yeah, the no surgery part, it's quite remarkable, isn't it?
It is. So let's kind of, unpack how he did it, right? What are the secrets here?
Absolutely.
What can we learn from this?
I think what's really interesting is that Labbett's story, it's not just about the physical transformation, right?
Yeah.
It's about understanding the mindset shift that actually, enabled him to achieve this.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point, right? We have to kind of go beyond just the number.
Exactly, yeah.
But before we get into all that, let's take a step back. For anyone who might not be familiar, who is Mark Labbett? Beyond being the beast.
Right. So Mark Labbett is a British TV personality. He's best known as a chaser on the quiz show, The Chase,
Right.
And his imposing size, his quick wit, very much part of his persona on the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a big part of his image.
Yeah.
So losing 10 stone, that's a massive change.
Huge, yeah.
Must have been a huge impact on his health, don't you think?
Definitely, it had to have been. The articles you provided talk about all the risks associated with being overweight, right?
Yeah.
Things like diabetes, heart disease, joint problems.
All the usual suspects.
Yeah. So it's very likely those potential health concerns were a major motivator for him.
Makes sense. It's like, a proactive move to avoid problems in the future.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it wasn't just about avoiding the negative, right?
Right.
The articles also pointed to some more personal reasons for making this change.
Exactly. I mean, he talked about wanting to have more energy, feel more confident, just be healthier overall, especially after becoming a dad.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, being a parent, it can definitely make you rethink your priorities.
Absolutely, yeah.
You want to be around for your kids, be able to keep up with them.
Exactly, and be a good role model too, right?
Oh, definitely. And it's interesting to note, this was all happening during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, that's true.
A time when, well, a lot of people were thinking about their health.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wake-up call for a lot of folks.
Absolutely. So it seems like, I don't know, all these factors, the health concerns, fatherhood, the pandemic, it's like they all came together.
Right.
A perfect storm for Labbett to make a change.
Yeah.
So how did he actually do it? What was his strategy here?
Well, this is what's fascinating. He didn't go for anything drastic.
Yeah.
No surgery, no crazy fad diets. It was a natural approach.
Okay.
Really focused on making long-term changes, lifestyle changes.
Interesting. So many weight loss stories are all about these quick fixes.
Right.
And they're usually not sustainable.
Right.
So what did Labbett do differently?
Well, one of the first things he did was tackle his sugar intake.
Sugar.
Yeah, he cut back dramatically on sugary drinks, snacks, processed foods, all that.
It's funny how often sugar is the main culprit.
It really is, yeah.
But wasn't Labbett known for loving his sugary treats?
That's a good point. The articles don't get into specifics about, his cravings.
Right.
But it seems like he made a conscious decision to cut back.
Just cold turkey.
It seems that way, yeah.
Wow. A lot of willpower there.
Yeah.
But cutting out sugar, that's just one part of it, right?
Right. Alongside reducing sugar, he also focused on portion control.
Portion control.
Yeah, so instead of drastically restricting what he ate, he became more mindful of how much he was eating.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's much more sustainable than starving yourself.
Right, which usually backfires anyway.
Exactly. It's about finding a balance that you can maintain over time.
Right, yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Less sugar, smaller portions. So was there a specific type of diet he followed?
The articles mention he shifted to a diet with more protein, fewer carbohydrates.
The classic combo. But why is that so effective, though?
Well, protein helps you feel fuller for longer.
Okay, yeah.
Which can reduce your overall calorie intake naturally. And fewer carbs. Helps regulate blood sugar levels, promotes fat burning.
So it's not just about cutting calories, it's about what you're putting in your body.
Right, exactly. Fueling your body with the right things.
Right. But it wasn't all about diet, was it?
No. He also started incorporating more physical activity into his routine.
Oh, okay. So did he hire a personal trainer and hit the gym every day?
Well, actually, no.
No.
No, the articles describe his approach as much more gradual.
Okay.
He started by just walking more, doing some light exercises. Even playing with his son was a way to get moving.
So it's like incorporating activity into everyday life.
Exactly. It's about making movement a natural part of your life rather than this, forced workout routine.
I love that. It's much more doable.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
So reduce sugar, portion control, a balanced diet, getting active. Anything else that helped him on his journey?
There's one more thing that may have played a role, although the articles don't go into too much detail about it.
Okay.
Intermittent fasting.
Oh, intermittent fasting. That's a popular one these days.
Yes, it is.
So can you give us like a quick breakdown?
Yeah, sure. Intermittent fasting involves cycling between periods of eating and fasting.
Right.
One common method is the 168 method.
Okay.
You fast for 16 hours, have an 8-hour eating window.
Okay.
But there are other variations too, of course.
Yeah.
Some more challenging than others.
So basically it's about like strategically timing your meals.
Right.
To maximize fat burning, things like that.
Right. And improve metabolic health.
Okay.
But it's important to note that intermittent fasting isn't for everyone, right?
Yeah.
It's always best to talk to a doctor before you make any big changes to your diet.
Good advice. So it sounds like Labbett's journey, it wasn't about these quick fixes or extreme measures. It was really about making gradual, sustainable changes.
Exactly. That's what makes it so relatable. He proved that significant weight loss is achievable without going to extremes.
Okay. Well, I got to ask, and I'm sure our listeners are wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
Did he have weight loss surgery?
It's a common assumption, right, when someone loses that much weight.
Yeah.
But Labbett has repeatedly denied having any bariatric surgery. He credits his transformation entirely to lifestyle changes.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
It is. It shows that significant weight loss is possible through natural methods.
Yeah. Can you quickly explain what bariatric surgery is for those who might not be familiar?
Yeah, sure. It's basically a category of procedures that helps people lose weight by making changes to the digestive system.
Okay.
Some common ones include like gastric sleeve surgery, where they actually remove a portion of the stomach.
Oh, wow.
And then there's gastric bypass surgery, which reroutes the digestive system, to bypass a portion of the stomach and small intestine.
Those sound like pretty major procedures.
They are. They can be very effective, but they come with risks, of course.
Yeah.
And they require significant lifestyle changes afterwards.
So while surgery is a valid option for some, it's not the only way.
Right.
And Labbett's a testament to that, right?
Exactly. It seemed he wanted to achieve this through his own efforts.
Yeah.
His own dedication. A personal choice, really.
All right, so we've covered the basics of Labbett's journey. Motivated by health concerns, fatherhood, maybe even the pandemic.
Right.
He took a natural approach. Cutting sugar, controlling portions, eating more protein, getting active, maybe even trying intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And importantly, he did it all without surgery.
It's amazing. He essentially created a whole new way of life for himself, one that prioritizes his health and well-being.
That's an amazing takeaway.
It is.
All right, so we're back, and I'm ready to get into the specifics.
Okay.
Like, how did Labbett actually approach this?
Yeah.
It's one thing to say, like, cut out sugar or whatever,
Right.
but what did that actually look like in his life?
Right, exactly. And I think what's really interesting here is that, Labbett's journey, it wasn't about following a rigid plan.
Okay, so it wasn't like, some crazy strict diet.
No, not at all. He really seemed to embrace the idea of making gradual, sustainable changes.
So it was more about, like, fitting it into his life, making it work for him.
Exactly. Yeah, the articles really emphasize that this transformation took place over several years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This wasn't a quick fix. It was a slow and steady approach.
That's so different from, like, all the lose weight fast stuff you see every
It really is, yeah.
It's like he was playing the long game.
Right, exactly. He was focused on building healthy habits that would last.
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that kind of commitment, to long-term change, it really speaks to his mindset, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, he didn't get discouraged by slow progress or, the occasional setback.
It makes you wonder, though, like, what kept him going through those tough times? Everyone has them, right?
Oh, for sure. Well, one of the articles actually mentioned how he viewed his weight loss as a personal challenge, almost like a puzzle he had to solve.
Oh, interesting.
It seemed like he enjoyed figuring out what worked for him,
Yeah.
seeing the results of his efforts.
So it became less about, like, depriving himself and more about this sense of accomplishment.
Exactly. It really shifts the focus, you know?
Yeah, I like that. It's a much more positive way to look at it. All right, so let's talk food. I'm sure everyone wants to know, what was he eating?
Right.
Any favorite recipes mentioned? Spill the beans.
You know, it's funny, the articles didn't really go into a ton of detail about specific meals or recipes.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
I know, right? But we can kind of piece together some insights based on his overall approach, right?
Yeah. Okay, so he was cutting sugar, controlling portions, all that.
Right, those are his core principles.
So picture this. The beast at the grocery store.
Okay.
What's he loading up his cart with?
I'd say he's probably reaching for those lean protein sources, you know?
Okay, like what? Give me some examples.
Chicken, fish, maybe tofu, beans,
Okay.
grabbing some Greek yogurt, eggs.
So he's getting his protein in. What about carbs?
Right, so instead of those refined carbs like white bread and pasta, he was probably choosing whole grains,
Okay.
brown rice, quinoa, that sort of thing, whole wheat bread.
Got it. And of course, lots of fruits and veggies, right?
Oh, absolutely. Can't forget those. So it sounds like a pretty balanced, flexible approach.
Yeah. No crazy restrictions or weird food combinations.
None at all.
Just like sensible choices.
Yeah.
Stuff that most people could try themselves.
Exactly. It wasn't about following a fad diet. It was about making sustainable changes, you know, to his eating habits.
Right, exactly. Okay, now what about exercise?
Yeah.
What kind of workout routine was he doing? Was he hitting the gym hard? Did he get a personal trainer?
You know, once again, the articles don't really provide any specific workout plans.
Oh, okay.
But what's interesting is that his approach to exercise seemed very intuitive, like it was integrated into his daily life.
So he wasn't like a hardcore gym rat.
Not necessarily, no. Remember how we talked about him just walking more?
Yeah,
Doing those light exercises, playing with his son?
Oh, yeah.
Always to just get moving, you know?
Right, simple but effective. It's about finding those activities that fit into your routine.
Exactly. He wasn't forcing himself into a rigid workout schedule.
I like that. Because who wants to do a workout they hate, right?
Exactly. It should be enjoyable.
Now, even though Labbett's journey was like super inspiring, I'm sure it wasn't always easy, right?
Of course not.
Were there any like challenges or obstacles that the articles mentioned?
You know, they don't really delve into specific challenges, but we can kind of speculate, right?
Yeah, I mean, there must have been days when he just didn't feel like it.
Oh, absolutely. Maintaining consistency over, you know, several years, it's tough.
Yeah, you're bound to have moments of weakness, right?
For sure.
And I bet those social events, you know,
Oh, yeah.
all the tempting food and drinks,
Yeah.
that must have been hard.
Definitely. It's about navigating those ups and downs, right?
Mhm.
Finding ways to get back on track.
Exactly. And, you know, I think about the fact that he's a public figure.
Right.
His weight loss was probably like under a microscope.
Yeah, that adds another layer of pressure, doesn't it?
It's one thing to do it for yourself, but to do it with the world watching.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of resilience.
Yeah, a lot of mental strength to stay focused. So it makes his success even more impressive, don't you think?
Definitely. Yeah, he persevered despite the challenges. It shows that it is possible to achieve, you know, significant change.
Lasting change, even when it's hard.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really powerful message.
It's like a reminder that, you know, setbacks are going to happen.
We're normal, yeah.
But it's how you respond to them that matters.
Exactly. All right, now before we wrap up this part, I think it's important to address a common misconception about weight loss transformations.
Okay, what's that?
You know, this idea that once you've reached your goal weight, you're done.
Yeah, like it's a happily ever after. We all know it doesn't really work that way.
Right. Maintaining weight loss is an ongoing effort.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle change, right?
It is. It requires that continued commitment to those healthy habits.
You got to make those changes permanent, not just a temporary thing.
Exactly. And while the articles don't really talk about how Labbett's maintained his weight loss, it seems pretty safe to assume he's stuck with those healthy habits, right?
I mean, it sounds like he's like created a new normal for himself.
Yeah.
A lifestyle that supports his well-being.
Exactly. And I think that's a crucial takeaway here. Sustainable weight loss, it's not about reaching some finish line.
It's about the journey.
It is. It's about embracing a whole new way of living.
So it's not the destination, it's the way you get there.
Perfectly put.
This has been so fascinating. We've really gone beyond just the surface level of Labbett's weight loss.
We have, yeah.
Explored his mindset, the challenges, the impact it's all had.
I agree. It's been really great to unpack this with you.
Yeah, and I think we can all learn a lot from his experience.
Absolutely.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive. And, one thing I've been thinking about is the impact of Labbett's weight loss.
Yeah.
Beyond just the physical changes.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's easy to focus on the before and after pictures.
Right.
But the real story is how this journey has affected his well-being.
Right, like his confidence, his life overall.
Exactly, yeah. And one of the articles talked about how Labbett's weight loss has given him this new energy,
Okay.
like a zest for life.
Oh, it's great.
He's mentioned feeling more confident, able to, do things he maybe struggled with before.
Yeah, like he's unlocked a new version of himself.
It really does seem that way. And it's not just his personal life that's been impacted.
Oh, really?
His career, too.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, there's this quote in one of the articles where he talks about how he's seen as more than just the beast now.
Okay.
Like, he feels like he's being taken more seriously as a quiz expert, as a TV personality.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, unfortunately, appearances do matter. Right?
Well, they do, especially in the entertainment industry.
Yeah. But it's great that he's seeing positive effects in his professional life, too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit, what about the long term? How sustainable is his approach?
Right.
We've talked about how he made those gradual changes, focused on healthy habits, but is there a risk of him, like, falling back into old patterns?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question with any weight loss journey, right?
Exactly.
How do you make those changes stick?
Because it's easy to be gung-ho at the beginning, but then, life happens.
Oh, for sure. Maintaining that momentum, it's tough.
Yeah?
But I think Labbett's story offers some really valuable insights here.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about his mindset shift?
Yeah.
It wasn't about, deprivation or restriction. It was about finding a way of eating and living that he actually enjoyed.
So it became a lifestyle, not just a diet.
Exactly. And by, incorporating those healthy habits into his routine, he's basically changed his whole relationship with food and exercise.
Yeah, it's not a battle anymore.
Right. It's just part of who he is.
That's a great way to look at it. It's
Yeah.
about, creating a system, right?
Yeah.
That supports your goals without feeling like you're constantly fighting yourself.
Absolutely. I think that's a key takeaway. Sustainable weight loss, it's less about willpower and more about creating that supportive environment for yourself.
So it's not just what you eat. It's about how you think about food, how you approach exercise, how you structure your life, really.
It's about taking a holistic view of health and well-being.
Yeah.
Recognizing that it's not just about the number on the scale, right?
Yeah.
It's about how you feel, how you live, how you show up in the world.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
I agree.
We've really gone beyond just the surface of Labbett's weight loss and really explored the why, the how, and the what now.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to dive into this story with you.
I think we can all learn a lot from Labbett's experience.
Absolutely.
So to our listener, as we wrap up this deep dive, we'll leave you with this. What small change, maybe inspired by Mark Labbett's journey, can you make today to, start your own path? It doesn't have to be a huge thing, just a small step in the right direction.
Every journey begins with a single step, right?
Exactly.
And as Labbett's story shows, those steps taken consistently over time can lead to, really remarkable results.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep learning.